There you are, Taryn. I was just texting you. Hello, everybody. Welcome, Lisa and Compliance Queen. Welcome. And of course, Taryn and our lovely Waitbot. Welcome, Lisa Marie and Sabrina. Good evening to you all. Happy Moon Day. OMG. What a week this week. Okay. Yes, we are excited. We're so excited, and at the same time, this week is like dun 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 for real with everything that's going on. Okay, so I'm not going to waste any time. If you're following the book, then grab your pen and take note of all of the. This week is like a filler episode. Give me a reaction if you know what a filler episode is. It's like you're watching your series and all of a sudden there's an episode where something develops that doesn't really move the plot forward, but maybe one of the main characters was on leave or just something. There's something going on in the real world that may influence a need for a filler episode in a series, and then the next episode we go back to the main plot. So have you ever experienced that? Because I feel like this week is kind of a filler week, which if you think about may be very well a huge tender mercy, because next week is the equinox. So don't we need to like really recharge and really ponder like the epic week that next week is going to be, right? Like we're like gathering our forces, our strengths, and I don't know, how do you prepare for the spring equinox, for the full new moon next week, and all of the things. Yay! And so, welcome. Thank you for those of you who are watching on YouTube. And if you're listening to the replay on Spotify, I'm so grateful for you. My name is My name is Graciela Moore. I don't know where that came from. I wonder who was trying to come through just now. But my name is Graciela Moore, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Welcome to Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. And we follow the 2023 manifestation agenda slash journal. And I like to make clear that I'm not an astrologer, even though I know all of these things. But I also like to check in with the Chani app and Jessica Laniato. Hello, Cecilia. And so everything I have for you about the astrology is from them. And then here in this show, we like to talk about where the moon is every day, because it shifts every 2 to 3 days. And the way that it complements, the way that the moon's positioning this week complements the mumbo jumbo that Chani pretty much laid out for us in her astrology for the week, is so cute as well. So let's get to it. We begin the week with the moon in Sagittarius, and we love Sagittarius. It's very directed, so this is the time to kind of think and keep the hope going for whatever goal you're trying to achieve, right? Think of the arrow that Sagittarius is. But at the same time, according to Chani, and literally from her words, if you want something to stick, then don't start it this week. She said it's going to feel like Mercury is in retrograde, even though it's not, because there's all of these squares happening on Thursday, and the square means oppositional energy. And so all of these squares, it's kind of like a bit of a bomb or cluster that's going to be happening. Tender mercy, she says, by Friday, the energy should be shifting into something a little bit nicer, and the moon has already moved to Capricorn by then. So everything that's going to happen between now and Thursday, when the cluster mushroom cloud might happen astrologically, is during the moon in Capricorn right after Sagittarius. And Capricorn wants to make sense of all of it. Capricorn wants to put it all in a list and to really ponder what has been happening. Hello, Kath. I hope that's it. Welcome. She says she's new here. We're so glad that you're here. And Curtis also joined us. Welcome to Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. Thank you for tuning in live. So we're talking about the moon and where it is this week. We just went from Sagittarius to Capricorn. When it joins Capricorn during this cluster of astrological things happening on Thursday, by Friday, Capricorn should have already made sense of it. And when it moves into Aquarius, the moon in Aquarius wants that emotional freedom. So how are you going to express whatever insight you make from what happened, with the moon assisting you along the way, if you will, or your own spiritual guide, guru, God, Jesus, whoever? And so Friday might be a bit nicer. And I apologize if you hear my dogs barking right now, but my husband just walked in. Okay, so it's so interesting how she says not to really commit to anything this week if you want it to be. Don't start something if you want it to be long lasting. I found that very interesting. So if you would like to comment any insight about that, or ask any questions, or give us some insight, that would be super cool. But between Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius, that is your whole moon cast for the week. And definitely tune in for the rest of it. Now, today is the waning gibbous. So waning is when the moon is getting darker, right? Because we just had a full moon last Monday, and you're welcome to check that out because we paint and we do a kind of an extended version of the other moon day episodes. There's no painting done tonight, but the waning gibbous really wants you to ponder that. How are you going to flow into this cluster? How are you kind of going to give yourself the time to sit back and observe as things unfold, and practice detachment, and practice perspective, and practice, just observing how things develop, so that then you can create educated decisions and so on and so forth, right? Venus is still in Aries until March 16th. And we already know what that means because we discussed it like 3 episodes ago, and how we need to watch out for that impulsivity. Is that the word? Impulsiveness? Either or, right? And so this week, where things might get canceled, you might get double booked, because if she says that we need to treat the week as if Mercury is in retrograde, then think about all of the miscommunications that can happen. Important emails going into the spam folder instead of your inbox. That's a miscommunication issue. Phone calls not really working, shows not really working, technology not really working. And then Jessica Laniado said something really important, which is that the astrology of this week mirrors the astrology from a few months ago, when Twitter came into the hands of Elon Musk, and then a lot happened, right? Chani called it a circus. This week is a circus. How are you going to be the ringleader? Oh my gosh, that's really stressful. So apparently we just need to chill and see what happens and recharge our energy and look forward to next week's big events, right? I wanted to also propose the thought of the same type of energy that we tend to have at the end of the year. So the very last week of December. By then, whether you run a business or not, the media, or if you like social media, or if you are in these conversations with your peers, by then you're already pondering your goals for next year, whether that's financial or just goals in general. Oh, next year I would really like to, go on a vacation. That's a goal. It would be better if you set a date right away, right? But it's a goal to just have the idea. That's the little seed that you might plant, right? Or the actual goals for Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. By the end of the year, I hope to have accomplished exactly this much. Welcome, Anthony. And so this week, right before the spring equinox, is like the last week of December, because if you think about it, one of the many abundant blessings that I've pointed out in this show is all of the many opportunities we get in the first 6 months of the year to just start over. We just start over. We have New Year's Eve, then we have the Lunar New Year at the end of January, and that's like another opportunity for you to try again. If December 31st and January 1st really didn't kickstart it, big enough, and now you can do it again. However, right now, you should be already sowing some of the seeds that you planted months ago. And that's also what this show is about, right? That's the new moon episode where you plant the seeds of intention of things that you want to create or things you want to do later on. Even if you know what you want to accomplish for this week, and the little seed that you want to plant this week because it's a new moon is to really get the courage to establish a boundary that I'm very uncomfortable setting. Ooh, that's a good intention. Yay. What boundaries are you going to set this week around communication? Do you maybe want to ask some clarifying questions instead of jumping to conclusions? How are you going to make sure this week that you communicate effectively? Since, according to Chani, we're supposed to treat the week as if Mercury is in retrograde. Because Mercury going retrograde naturally, like 6 times a year, it's not enough. This is also so interesting and fascinating. So that is pretty much all of it. And I'm so excited. If you're following the Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2023 Manifestation Agenda Journal, available on Amazon or on the link in all of the descriptions, there's 2 things I wanted to talk about. Number 1, this is a dated agenda. So if you get it today on March 13th, for example, you're going to have a few full moons and a few, 2 of each, 2 full moons and 2 new moons that you haven't done, that you haven't painted. And of course, all of the moon days for the past few weeks with blank space for you to journal. I invite you to take a look at those pages anyway. Think about how in this show we go from the moon to the moon in one sign to the moon in another sign every day of the week. So if next week you want to ponder a moon in Gemini or a moon in Cancer or a moon in Taurus, and that has already happened previously in some of the journal pages of from January 1st until today, then go back and answer the questions. Take a look at all of the affirmations. Every Monday comes with affirmations as well. So there's a lot that you can do. Even if you get the book, mid-year, you can still take advantage of all of the pages, all of the affirmations that we have already discussed. But today, because it's Moon Day, we have 2 affirmations. Number 1 is I practice optimism in all things. And this is because the moon is in Sagittarius today. Remember that arrow. What is it that you're looking forward to? But slow down, because this week, it's not the week to kind of commit to things. You don't want to commit to anything during a Mercury retrograde. So that would be this week, I guess. Practice optimism. What does that look like for you? I am generous with my gifts and I share abundantly. And I surrender to the flow and release what doesn't help. So that's the waning moon telling us to flow, to really ponder how water, even just water, is healing. Not just the flow of it, but how it moves in my body, the flow of water. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate you. So this week we did a meditation about flowing in the river, flowing down the river. Bleepy's coming through. Can you believe it? Of course. Um, and that's really the meditation for today as well, because the waning give us wants us to just flow, go with the flow instead of working against it. Right? Like one of the questions that came up for me, and I've discussed this many times, especially if you're a highly sensitive empath, right? So here we are. And you want to work with the energy as opposed to against it. You spend double or triple the energy if it's negative than if you actually make the effort for some positive energy to flow. I'm going to repeat that. You spend double or triple the energy to stay in negative energy and to work against things by being negative than if you actually put the trouble and the work in to accomplish something positive. So, logistically speaking, is that the way we say it? Working hard to create something positive and beautiful is way better than working against things. And I feel like knowing where the moon is allows me to kind of tune in with what can I expect just from the moon, right? Like I can't control anybody else in my environment, but I also can't control the moon, and I happen to know what the moon is doing for myself and everybody. And so I like to check in. Luminary parenting is beautiful for that. She posts about how the moon may affect your kiddos every single day at Luminary Parenting on Instagram. I love her. And so this is why this conversation is important, because the first thing that I thought about on Thursday and all of the things that are happening, Mercury is conjunct to Neptune, the Sun is squaring Mars, Venus square Pluto, Venus goes into Taurus, and Mercury squares Mars. So Sun and Mercury are both together squaring Mars at the same time. And square means competition. Square means opposition. Square means they're not in a cooperative stance. And so there's a lot of squares happening on Thursday. And the first question that came through my mind was, how can I just tune in to ride that wave instead of work against it? Because if I work against the energy, I might end up going to bed exhausted that day. Just think about it. If you're a highly sensitive empath, you get tired just from feeling feelings. Right? Like after a weekend like Thanksgiving, or or after a weekend like Christmas, even just us hosting a big family for dinner, I need like a day of doing nothing but keeping the toddler alive and napping. And it's because I'm highly sensitive and I just spent 2 days or one day with a house full of people and cooking and entertaining and doing all the things, filling all the cups and doing all the things, right? Now I need downtime. And if you're an introvert, then you might also relate to that. So, yeah, we're right at home over here with all of this cluster that's happening and us just trying to figure it out along the way. I hope that you don't miss appointments or get double booked or forget to do something important that was supposed to happen this week. So check your calendars, check your wallet for any notes. And I hope that we survive this week, right? Oh my goodness. So this is the opportunity. Thank you. This is the opportunity for all of you to come up and share whatever you want to share with me about your week or the episode. And you are all welcome to share. I see Anthony is here. Kath is your first time here. Curtis and Taryn. Ron is coming. Hello, Ron Perry.
Hello. I think I just had a breakthrough.
Ooh, tell us
Of,
your breakthrough.
yes, of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at any time, every Monday that when you're on here, the moon is going to be in a certain place, correct?
Yes, it's in
And
Sagittarius today.
okay, and then not just that, but the planets are in a certain configuration, right?
The planets move every second. That's right.
That's right. So each time you're on here on Mondays, you're defining where the location is and if there's a significance to the location to each one relative to each other, correct?
I mean, this is one of the episodes that I have kind of dug deeper into the astrology because of this cluster.
Hmm.
Other times I just like to just really brush over it. But we do know where the moon is every day. That's right.
Gotcha. Well, see, now I'm finally understanding. So, and I was wondering about the luminary parenting. Was that available in the 80s, you think?
No, this is just the name of an account.
Oh, I thought you meant like she luminary parenting, as in like she's really taking seriously the effect of the moon on the kids every day.
Oh, as a verb. No, this is the name of someone's account, and
Oh,
she
okay. Gotcha.
posts about, right. She posts where the moon is every day,
I see.
and then what effect it could have on your children. I love her. I found her like literally in February.
That's awesome. And could you please describe to me, now that I'm understanding this more, what does retrograde mean again? When you said like before, like Mercury's in retrograde and that had an impact, what does that mean?
So retrograde means that instead of the planet going on its orbit, I was going
Mhm.
to call it lane, but we know it's an orbit. Um, straight up in its path and just being a good boy.
Mhm.
It goes its own way. You can go your
Oh,
own
the
way for a period
way.
of time.
Gotcha.
And it could be 2 months, it could be 60 days, whatever. Well, that's 2 months, 30 days or whatnot.
Mhm.
When it kind of halts in its place to then return to its previous um, lane,
Mhm.
orbit, or just going straight. But I say that, right? What is straight in the
Right.
universe?
Right.
It's in its shade, it's in its literal shadow, and it kind of feels murky until it finally goes back to the sun because it's moving forward and it's in the light of the sun and it's not in its own shadow. So I find that fascinating as well. Jessica Laniero calls it retro shade, and there's
Mm.
certain energies when a planet is in retro shade before they go direct. So
Wow.
it's all really interesting.
It is, and I just want to say I appreciate you doing the show. You always do a fantastic job. You're very comfortable with what you're doing, and you've got a lot to of your wisdom to impart. So I'm just enjoying it. And I'll let Curtis speak now.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ron. I hope you have a fantastic week. Go ahead, Curtis. How are you doing?
Doing good. Sorry, I had my Bluetooth on, so I had to take
You
the one
sound
out.
great.
Now I do, yeah, because I don't have my Bluetooth on. Otherwise, I'd sound like I'm in a tunnel.
Mm.
Um, interesting, interesting week this week. Because I remember you saying earlier today that there's nothing really going on this week. It's kind of like my week.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
no, I didn't mean it like that. I definitely feel like it's that what I mentioned in the beginning is that this week feels like a filler episode. Do you know what that is?
No, I'll let you describe it.
It's it's in a series like on Netflix, and sometimes there's one episode that doesn't really drive the big plot forward, but
Oh,
it's
yes,
there.
right. Yeah.
Maybe somebody was on vacation or on leave or something, and so they just put this episode in. That's a filler episode, and the energy this week is almost like, rest and recharge because next week it's all hands on. And I know that this is what the energy has been leading towards since pretty much the end of last year, and how New Year's Eve didn't really feel like we had that energy to set resolutions, and we discussed that, remember?
Yeah.
And then for the Lunar New Year, we had tragedy happen that weekend, and we also didn't feel like it was New Year's, but it didn't feel like that much of an either. Now we get a third chance, and the equinox is going to bring a lot along with the new moon. It's such a great energy to plant those seeds. So think about it. If you wake up to watch the sunrise on March 20th next week, when we're going to meet at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace, those of us who get up with the sun that day will all be up at the exact same time together, just watching the sunrise on the spring equinox. So it's always been a big deal to me. I don't know about you, but I'm excited that the new moon is the
It
very
is.
next day.
It's great. No, it's terrific. Spoiler alert. So, where I'm not in accordance with like the filler episode, and that's why I was like trying to get confirmation on the filler, because everybody describes the filler episode with one way or another, but there is something to fill in. I'm not given a choice tomorrow. You know how I keep taking everything. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
for health. And
Right.
tomorrow, I'm not given a choice. It's either you're going or you're going to be sent going. So you don't have a choice. Okay, let me rest. But
Yes.
there was some things I wanted to accomplish, and they didn't know about it, and with all the good things coming in, and then just with movement that I have pushing forward, and um, lots of great conversations with everybody from the community, and everybody on here especially. Could run down the list, but I'm really digging your outfit, so I just want to compliment you on how you've tied everything together.
Thank you.
Your earrings
Thanks so
to your
much.
necklace to like the hat, it's like black and silverish. Hang on, let me look here. Black and white, and then you have the blue jean on. It's
Yeah.
marvelous.
Thank
So
you so much, Curtis. Yeah, I owe it to my baby sister. She wore denim yesterday, and her husband and her son wore denim, and I kind of felt left out. So this morning it was a no-brainer.
so
And I want to flow. I want to flow like the waning moon, right? So I want to
that's
work
right.
with that energy instead of against it. So I wore blue and a
I've been
flowy
resisting,
dress.
and I've been resisting. So now I have to go with the flow, and it's like tomorrow. It's like now you know.
Now you
But it'll
know.
happen.
Now you
It'll
know.
happen in the afternoon because Zenith is giving me a special thing, and I guess we're allowed to mention cross platforms here.
Yes.
Thing on Wisdom tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I wanted to make sure I had that done. And then after that, it'll be my send off. And then when I say send off, it's not to my end. It's my send off to my rebirth, my
That's
rejuvenation.
right.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so you said next Monday, 10 a.m. or 10 p.m.?
10 p.m. every Monday. Moon
No,
days.
I know that, but the
The
spring
sunrise?
equinox, the
I don't
spring
know.
equinox, the
You'll have to
spring
ask your device.
equinox. But you said we were all going to be somewhere together on Monday.
Yes, if you ask your device what time is sunrise, it's the same time for everybody. So
Okay.
if you wake
Oh,
up
I
for the
see.
sunrise, we will all be awake at the same time together,
I'll text you.
but apart,
Yes.
but together. And now that Curtis is here, I can tell the others because Curtis is one of my blessed subscribers. If you are a subscriber, you get a sun salutation meditation. So that's what's coming up later this week. Yay. And I
Yay,
see
yay,
Rodney's
yay.
here. So excited. So
All right.
let's continue. Thank you so much,
Did
Curtis.
I hear you say Rodney's in here?
That's right.
Oh my. Rodney.
Oh my. Oh
Well,
my.
no, I just wanted to say Rodney, Anthony, Ron. I wish Dee was here too. I slept through the whole day Saturday. That's the whole reason why Tuesday is coming to fruition sooner than I thought. But I did listen to your fireside chat. It was marvelous. It was wonderful. Um, and I always try to support each and every one of you in all of our endeavors and everything that we do. And of course, Graciela. And I can't wait
Thank you.
for April.
That's right.
All right, talk to you later.
Thank you, Curtis. Thank you so much. Everybody give Curtis a round of applause. And let's continue. So, this episode was jam packed. If you are just tuning in to the replay, thank you so much. I suggest that you go back and listen to it in between episodes, meaning episodes that are not about the full moon or the new moon. We're bam bam, bada beam bada boom, let's go to the meditation and done. Because the extended episode is the one where you can bring a journal, answer some questions, paint live, and it's so much fun. So yeah, take a look at the link in the description below and ponder. I'm gonna go ahead and from something. All right. So music for this meditation is brought to you by Brain FM. Find a free trial and 20%. Actually, I think it's 40% of your membership in the link in the description below. If you want to follow the journey of moon magic and mindfulness with Grace, you can buy it in the link in the bio. You can also find my poetry and everything else there. And if you're interested in booking a call, because let's not forget, this show is something that I was doing personally, like for myself, since I was in my 20s, just connecting with the moon, writing poetry, doing all this painting and all this journaling. And so I brought it to all of us. But what I really love to do is to life coach. So let's not forget that I am a certified life coach and that I love to ask you all the questions. Hello, Lisa. You joined our stage. How are you doing?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, can you? Oh my God, this is the first time I've been on here. So, yeah, thanks for inviting. I was just laying here, just kind of replaying my whole week and just thinking to myself how everything has just shifted with me with this moon that just happened. And it went from such positivity to just everything's just so intense right now. So I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, it kind of changed dramatically. So I'm just listening, just paying attention.
Yes. Oh, well,
Trying
I'm
to
so glad
understand
that you're
the
here. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
trying
Go
to
ahead.
understand how everything shifts energies and trying to just I'd like to just be aware of it before so I know how to handle it. So yeah, thank you for inviting me to speak. I'm just like I said, I'm just here listening.
Yes, you're very welcome. And I'm so glad that you're here. And you're welcome to join us every Monday from now on so that we can get that kind of awareness happening. Because, like I just shared, is from Monday to Sunday. So by next Monday, we'll be caught up with whatever is happening next week. And we've been here since last August. So I'm grateful that you joined us.
Okay, well, thank you. Appreciate all of you.
Yes, of course. You're very welcome. So let me go ahead and assist you. Let's see. There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So at the end of each episode, for those of you that are watching for the very first time, again, thank you for tuning in. And if you're on YouTube or the replay and Spotify, I appreciate you. For those of you in the room, this is the part where we get to relax and tune in. And what I was sharing earlier is that music for this and all my meditations is brought to you by Brain FM. You can find a free trial in the link in the description below. And we are gonna go to a moonlit garden for about 10 minutes. So just follow my lead. If you're sitting down, both feet on the ground, kind of shift your hips to align your spine in place. And even though your core is already engaged because you're sitting up, you can just take deep breaths. If you're laying down, is totally so much better because you'll be able to really do the deep breaths. But that's up to you. Just bring your awareness to your normal breathing, nice and slow. And with me, take a deep breath in through your nose, nice and slow, not in a hurry, just deep breath in all the way. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth, nice and slow. Just a long breath out all the way till you have no air. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in again through your nose. Deep breath in until you have no room for air. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let it go through your mouth. Nice and slow. And if you feel like gasping right after that, it's okay. Just gasp and settle into your breath. And as you breathe nice and slow, with your eyes closed and in this present moment where you are safe and paused and held and light, in this moment, you are seated under a waning moon, more dark than lit, right past the quarter moon. And as you breathe in the week ahead, you ponder, how can you best remain light and flowy despite the turbulence, despite the challenge, despite whatever experience comes up that becomes the opposition. How am I flowing and remaining light and not really stepping into just keeping light of blank, whatever might be negative about this week? How am I going to flow through it? And the moon is going to bring up a lot of emotions through it all because that's what the moon wants. The moon is the emotional drive, whereas the sun is the idea of logistic. So in this moment, know and understand that I am safe right here and now, under this moon, in this moment, as I breathe nice and slow. So with me, take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep, deep, deep breath in through your nose all the way. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out through your mouth. Nice and long breath out all the way till you run out of air. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe normal again. And as you breathe, I want you to keep your eyes closed and ponder these affirmations. You may repeat them for the rest of this week and take a moment to really take it in. Bring your awareness to your hand on your heart. I practice optimism in all things. I am generous with my gifts and share abundantly. I surrender to the flow and release what doesn't help me. Feelings are temporary. What is permanent is my dedication to healing. I am so grateful for this journey. Every moment, I am so loved, guided, and secure. I am ready to make sense of it all. Nice and slow. Go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose. Nice and slow, fill those lungs. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out through your mouth. Nice, long breath out. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one last time through your nose. Deep, long breath in. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let it go through your mouth. Long breath out. Now bring your awareness to your feet and wiggle your toes or stretch your body. And, oh, my voice just broke. Open your eyes and come back to me. Yeah. And that concludes our time together. So thank you again. Thank you everyone for joining. Don't forget to send your questions or raise your hand if you have a question during the show. Again, Kath, Georgia, and Lisa Marie, I'm so grateful that you joined us. Channing and Lisa Nat, Anthony, Cecilia, Taryn, Curtis, Ron, Rodney. So grateful that you're all here. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm grateful for you as well. Follow me on social media at songofmyself.ig on Instagram, at SOM Coaching on Twitter, and somcoaching.com is my website where you can book a call, get the books, read everything about it. Everything is there. So thank you again. Don't forget your free trial of Brain FM. And I'm excited for this week's subscription box packet. If you're a subscriber for just $5 a month, This week, not only do you get the newsletter that everyone else gets, but you get your exclusive subscriber package, which is a mindfulness handout and an audio meditation that you get to keep. And what I was talking about with Curtis earlier is that for those that are subscribers, you'll get an equinox meditation, sun salutation event thing, so you can use it on Monday morning. So I'm very excited about that. If you want to become a subscriber, everything is in the link in the description below. Thank you, everyone, again. I love you, and I will see you next Monday. Bye, y'all. Have a wonderful week.